All right, AJT Jungle, we're going to go over, do a quick recap of our trades today, and I'm going to go over my most favorite and valuable trading tool, which I've had many requests to do so. But first trade out of the gate was Meta. I wasn't so much feeling aggressive this morning, so I just kind of waited for the 5-minute candle to print, and then we kind of used it as our guide. And so here is here's a 5-minute opening range low. We get in. I got my first target. Almost got to 500 before it just aggressively got bought back up, and then we get stopped out, running back toward break even. And it's since traded inside its channel all day. Meaning, here's the opening range low, here's the opening range high, and it's pretty much settled inside of that the rest of the day. And I don't like to trade inside the 5-minute opening range channel. I just don't. And you can see it's just been stuck there, so there are no trades on it for me. None whatsoever. The other trade we took today was Nvidia. So again, Nvidia, this was a 5-minute opening range. I didn't take it inside this. Even though this was a good window, I waited until it got over the pre-market high. That's when I got in. It did pull back and hold. And I started taking profit about $1 early because of what happened here. I was looking for 960, and it ran up to 958, so I went ahead and took it at 958 as it came back through, and then took a little bit more off at 960, and took some more off here at 965, and I'm looking for some more out of this. I think 970 might have been the next one I was looking at, or either 968 to 970. It didn't quite get there, and it stopped me out, just about at break even. So I got back in once we bounced, and we got back over the 9. I got back in, got my first profit target. It pulled back, looked like it was holding the 9, so I added back to it. And here I honestly thought we were holding this, and I kind of took my eye off of it, and I had a mentor session to do, and not really paying attention. This thing actually sold all the way off. Obviously I would have gotten out of this right in here. This is the proper place to get out of it. Right there, because we would have taken out the low. We would have taken out the low of this candle. So this is where I should have gotten out. But like I said, I wasn't paying attention. By the time I got out of the session and started looking, we had bounced, pulled back, and we were kind of stuck in here. So I was like, well, the best thing to do is once we pull through all of this, if we confirm over it like what we did here, go ahead and add to this, and then look for a move, back up through here. And I got in, I added it. It did pull back and back test this, which is common. It wasn't uncommon for it to do that, so it wouldn't spook me out. And so far we got the first target, and then here we pull back and got my stop. So pretty decent trading, even with the mistake. again, reading price action and giving it, allowing price action to dictate what you do is, number one on this. So, as promised, I'm going to talk about my favorite trading tool today. It's my favorite, my most valuable trading tool. And for most people, they may not believe it. But it is FinViz. This is my most valuable trading tool. This has taken the place of $400 worth of scanners. Now, it wasn't this good when I first started using it. Obviously, 12 years ago, FinViz wasn't this good. But it has evolved and it has grown, and my trading has evolved, and I'm not an ambulance chaser anymore. So I'm not chasing gap ups and all of that from that morning. I'm looking for specific stocks. So you guys know I've got my Fugly 5 that sometimes becomes my Sexy 6, which is, I'll show you where that is. So no matter what, I'm not scanning for these every day. These are on my list, my watch list every day. Okay, my Fugly 5 was Meta, Microsoft, Netflix, Nvidia, and Tesla. Now, obviously, when I first started with these, Nvidia wasn't $900. Netflix wasn't $600. Okay, these stocks were not that higher priced. Microsoft wasn't $400. Meta wasn't $500. So these have grown, these have evolved along with my trading. But these are the 5 I call my Fugly 5, and our membership asked me to put AMD on. So now I've got my Sexy 6. I don't trade AMD a lot, but it's on there. So I don't have to go scanning and chasing ambulances every day to try to find stocks that are in play. The reason being, and here's the thing. Let's look at Meta. Meta has an ATR of $13, means it moves an average of $13 any given day. So imagine if I only traded 100 shares of it and I got an $8 move, collectively an $8 move, that's $800 on a 100 share position. That's not bad if you have a small account and you're trying to grow it. All right, not bad at all. Then we look at Nvidia, which I have a love-hate relationship with, but it pays really, really well. $38 ATR. That has and these stocks have a spread. They trade with enough volume to where the spread is very tradable. Sometimes you see higher priced stocks with the $2, $3, $4 spread that trades real thin, and they're hard to manage your risk on. These are relatively easy to manage your risk on. I know they're volatile. You have to be at a certain level in your trading to deal with it. But when you get there, they're very easy to manage your risk. But that's just to give you an idea of what I do. Now, the first thing I use this for is at night. Okay, and some of you asked me about the scan that I use at night. All right, so what I do is in the evening, I run what I call my 52-week low day trade. Now, I haven't had anything hit this in a while. Obviously, the market's going up. But every now and then you could have a stock taking a hit and it could be selling off, could provide a really good opportunity. So I check it anyway. So I check it. We don't have anything. And all of this is the same. I'm looking for stocks that had a current volume of 2 million shares traded that day. I want a stock that's tradable. I want a stock that has a higher float. I don't like low float stocks. I know a 60 million share stock is a low float, but it's not so bad that I can't manage my risk on it. So I need an over 50 million share low float. Price of the stocks are over $20. ATR needs to be over 5. And I'm looking for stocks anywhere between 0 and 3% above its 52-week low. And an average volume of over 2 million. So that's all I'm looking for. And then I go ahead and I run the 52-week high day trade, which we do have several. Sometimes I have 12. You never know where this is going to be at the end of the day. But right now we've got Carvana, Microsoft, and NVIDIA. Now obviously we're trading NVIDIA today. And NVIDIA, I'm going to use it as an example of how I use this tool. So we got Microsoft and Carvana. So let's look at Carvana. So at night, what I do is I click on the chart. And what I do is I look to see, okay, how far away are we from the 52-week high? And like we made the 52-week high, we pulled back. It's been a couple weeks and we're breaking through. There's a better chance than not we can confirm and take this move out this week. It's a better chance than not that can happen. We're not overextended. Everything kind of looks good. So this will be on my watch tomorrow. I don't need to run a live scanner and chase gappers and all this. I've got my same 5-6 stocks I watch, plus I've got the stocks that I see here. Oftentimes I'll have stocks like Microsoft and NVIDIA that's already on my everyday watch. So I don't really have to do any extra work. I know what to do with all of this. So the other thing I look at on this, and this is another reason why I love FinViz and why I said it has saved me over $400 a month in tools and trading tool expense, is they have the option chain now. Now, it updates every 15 minutes. It's not a live update, but I don't need it to update every second. 15 minutes is fine enough for me because all I'm using the option chain for is to tell me where's big money placing their bets. So I'm going to look at the open interest and I'm going to see, is it heavier to the short side or the long side? And then where do we have big pockets of, open interest? Right now it's at 90. Then the next one that is a little pocket at 95, but then look at the big pocket here at 100. So this gives me an indication that, hey, if we break the 52-week high, I've got my profit targets right here, 95 and 100. And it's all based on the option flow. This is the open interest. These are options contracts that have been bought and they're open. It's not like watching level 2 or a book map where you just have open orders sitting there that haven't executed yet. Nobody's in it, for the most part. Now, yeah, there are some, but you have no idea whether somebody who was in these trades are sitting there needing to fill their orders, or is it somebody that just has thrown out shares waiting to try to catch something and all of a sudden they pull it? You don't know that. But this open interest, these are option contracts that have been executed. They haven't been completed, they haven't been closed, but they've been opened. So hence open interest. So this gives me a better idea about where this stock's going to go. So definitely tomorrow I'll be watching Carvana. Alright, see how simple that is? And I'm already watching the other ones on the screen, so I don't have to worry about it. I already got Microsoft and Nvidia, and at the end of the day, there may be a couple more. But that's what I do. Also, I run the pre-market earnings scanner the next morning, because this is telling me what stocks meet my criteria that are reporting earnings that morning that I can go vet and see if they're tradable. Now, obviously, this one wasn't. This one didn't have any volume early, but it does now, so it's going to pop up. But I don't use this now. This is a pre-market scanner. Now, when I come in the afternoon at 3 o'clock, I'm going to run my, that's not the right one. That's a swing scanner. Aftermarket earnings. I'm going to run and see, do we have any stocks reporting after the market that meet our criteria? If I run it at 3 o'clock and we don't have anything, then there's no earnings that day. Okay, no more earnings. But this is what I use this for. It is, and there's so much more that this thing can do. I mean, it's got a heat map that kind of tells you, it's based on the sectors, and kind of gives you an idea of what each stock in each sector is doing. I really don't care, because I'm a price action trader. I don't care what the news so much says. I don't care what all the other stocks are doing. I'm focusing on the price action on that one particular stock, because you don't know what's happening. And oftentimes the stock that we're trading may not be following the market. It may not be following the rest of the stuff. But yet we're banking on it. Nobody else is. Everybody's following this other stuff. Nobody's trading it because it's not doing what everything else is doing. I don't care. If the price action is telling me this is what is likely to happen, then that's what I'm going to trade. And that's what you guys see me do every day. But also, it just depends on what you want to do. I use this more if I'm going to swing trade. When I'm looking at the different groups, or in the heat map, I use this typically when I'm swing trading, not so much day trading. But it's got everything you ever want. And it doesn't matter if you trade Forex, futures, crypto. It's got everything. The beautiful part is it's only $39. It also has a free version. Like, I use the elite version because to give you an idea, it gives you real-time data throughout the trading day and from 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. With me trading earnings, either pre-market earnings or aftermarket earnings, this is critical. All right, this is critical. And it will run the screener as early as 7 o'clock. So it's great. You can kind of design your own charts. It does allow you to back test if you want. I've got specific rules and stuff that deal with back testing. So if you mentor with me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's got everything. The screener, everything that you need. Like I said, I don't use a live screener. I don't. Now, like I said, there's a free, and you can register, meaning you can design, make a login to where you can save your scans and stuff. But for $39 a month, you can't beat that. So if you want to sign up I've got a link on my website, and I'll put the link here that allows you to sign up. But it gives me everything I need. I used to pay almost $200 a month for my option flow scanner. My live scanner is almost $200 a month. I don't need any of that anymore. And you see, we are in play every day. Every day we are in play. I may not trade the right stocks. I may pick the wrong stock that's in play. You guys may pick the right one. And hey, all is well in the universe. But we are in trades all the time. And if you listen to the Benzinga Pre-Market Prep Show, they may be talking about other stocks that are moving that you can, vet for yourself. But you don't need a scanner, a live scanner, to spend all this money just to find stocks to trade. I mean, if you want to do it, great. But I'm just saying you don't have to do it. What else was I going to say? Oh, okay. So now let's look at NVIDIA. So what a lot of people ask me, how did you know the stock was going to do this? Or how did you know the stock was going to go to this price? Again, we use option flow. And this is the option flow for NVIDIA. It's really big. We got big time numbers here because they trade. NVIDIA trades in very heavily. So I'm looking on the put side. This is the short side, and I'm looking at the call side. So again, I do look at the volume. This tells me what's already gone through, but I'm also looking at the open interest. Because see, like here, I look at the volume and I see 87, almost 88,000 contracts have closed. Each contract is 100 shares. So imagine the volume of this. So, and we talk about this in the class. And we'll talk about it again this week. But what this tells us, what does this tell us? And lets me know, should I be holding on for this? Or should I be looking for it to start to pull back? That's the $1 million question here. So the market was pulling back this morning. And I said, I'm looking at, 9:30, between 9:30 and 9:35 for the pullback before it bounces and we start recovering for the day. Because most of the money was on the call side. Like a lot of this was over here earlier. And let's go back and look at the chart. Let's look at what happened pre-market. How far did it pull back? Here's the lower pre-market. Here's the pullback. 931. It's not me guessing. I don't have to guess. It's the option flow that tells me exactly what it does. And I've been trying to teach you guys this for years. You know, it's not something, it's no Johnny come lately. It's not something that, ooh, look at what I found. It might work for a couple of months. This has worked consistently for years. And I don't foresee it not working in the future. But this is my favorite tool. I'm going to talk about and show you some of the other tools that I use now. But I'm telling you, last year I reduced my trading tool bill by $600 per month, thanks to NVIDIA. I mean, not NVIDIA, thanks to FinViz. It is a really, really tremendous tool. And again, for $39 a month, you can't beat that. Dude, you can make that in a trade. You could pay your whole yearly subscription in one trade just by using this tool. You get a huge return on investment. But like I said, this thing does a whole lot more. And as we use it, as we get into it, if we are getting to something unique and we need to use another feature, then hey, we use it. But I love this at night because when I get into the charts, I could do whatever I want to do with it. I can maneuver the charts. I could go back. I can draw my trend lines. I can put studies on the chart. Everything I need to do. So I don't have to log into my main trading platform. I can just sit there on a laptop on FinViz and do whatever I need to do. So I hope that helps you guys out that's been asking me. But I demonstrate how to use it and how I use it every day here in the community. This is an education room. This is like an everyday classroom. So I'm going to teach you exactly what I'm doing, what I'm looking at. And you know that tool is amazing. So I'm going to get out of here for a few. Don't see any earnings. So don't hold my breath. I'll check in with you, but pretty sure we're not going to be trading earnings.